Hi everyone and welcome to episode 20 of Keeping Up with Conspicuous. We actually remembered and found out which one we're on this week. So episode 20, and today's topic we are actually going to be talking about red flags from a client and candidate perspective in a job search. So, you know, what are the red flags are always a big topic in life. But we're actually just gonna say our red flags as if we were a candidate in a process, or whether we were a client interviewing a candidate from a process. So I think we'll start with candidates.
Okay, candidates.
If you're on a job search, Ty,
Yeah.
what would you be like? What red flag?
So if I had, I'm gonna try and think out the box.
Okay.
This job advert is advertised as a particular salary, and then you go to an interview and they say a complete different salary.
Yeah.
Or same thing but with location. If it's advertised as remote, you get on the initial interview and they're like, no, you need to be in the office.
Yeah, because
Basic, but
it is basic, but this does happen. I've had it where I've, worked with people and I've been saying one thing because I've been told that.
Yeah.
They get in the interview and they get told another thing, and I'm like, oh, like, we should be made aware of that too. Like, it is annoying.
Yeah.
Although I did have an issue the other day, and it can happen because it's happened to me as posting a job advert. I specifically changed it to on-site, and on other people's it was still saying remote on LinkedIn.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I was like calling them and I was like, I'm really sorry. I don't know why.
That's weird.
But my computer has hated me all week, so that might play a part.
That'll be why.
Yeah. But
I think in general, like disorganisation, if you've already gone through 2 rounds of an interview and the first round is with the hiring manager or the lead person, and they say one thing, and then you do the second interview and it's completely different, like all the info is completely different.
That's a good one.
So like no communication between the team, disorganised. I think we've got one. No feedback for like 55,000 years.
That's not even an over-exaggeration. No
Interview feedback.
I don't get why clients can't. I know clients are busy, right? But a short email with, unfortunately it's a no, didn't fit culture. Unfortunately it's a no, didn't fit requirements of skill set.
Especially because they've taken the time to interview them.
Yeah, just give a little feedback. And I say it's more an amber flag to start.
Depending on the time
scale.
frame.
Yeah. Depending on the time frame, because if it goes longer than a week, raise that red flag, get it out.
I'd say like also red flag when it comes to contract. If you've given verbal acceptance or said to someone, whether it's a recruiter or the company directly, I'd love to accept this role, I'm happy with this particular salary, whatever, and then they just never send paperwork, or it's like constant delays in sending paperwork over. I think depending on how, like, what would you say? You've verbally accepted at Conspicuous, right? You've said to Rob, I want the job, I'll happily accept at this much money. How long do you think is acceptable to wait to receive formal paperwork?
Absolute max a week, and that's 7 days including a weekend. Mm-hmm. So if they done it on the Friday, that is including that Saturday and Sunday. I should have it by the following Friday. I'd say that's my absolute max.
Because it's people's lives.
Yeah, you don't want to be toying with that. And of course, like, that also delays out notice periods because you have to then wait an extra week.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. They're really good red flags.
Maybe it shows they're not serious about hiring. And if they're not serious about hiring, question mark here, does that showcase maybe how much thought and effort they put into their current employees, how seriously they take their current employees if they can't take hiring seriously? What do you think?
Could well be a reflection. But this is the thing, like, as a candidate, say if we were candidates and we were in that position, these are the types of thoughts that would go through candidates' heads. So if you were a hiring manager listening now, these are the thoughts that we get on a daily basis from candidates that have been through the process. They think, are they serious? Do they treat their current employees like this? Is there a structure within the business? Have they got their business processes in order? what actually are their priorities?
Yeah.
I had it, and I've had a candidate previously say to me, it just seems they don't know how to manage and they don't have their priorities set. And
don't know what's going on.
What can you say as a recruiter? I can't disagree or agree because I'm not, I'm a neutral party.
Yeah.
But these are the thoughts that come with it. So as much as it may not be too much an issue for you as a hiring manager because you've got time to play with, that time gives those, bless you to our director, that was a big sneeze, that gives you time to have these thoughts and overthinking processes. And
like culture benefits, you mentioned there about culture. So red flag to me, benefits wise, again, how they treat their employees, what you were saying, like showcasing how their priorities are and what culture they represent. Are the benefits free parking, free tea and coffee, a pension? Because to me,
I was waiting to know where you go with this. I was like,
fine. I don't know, to me, what do you think about that? Would you like that? I'm not talking about bonus, like money, I'm talking about showcasing culture through like benefits and things.
Yeah, I feel like they should be advertised, for sure. Like, I also think if they don't talk about them during the process or disclose a document once your contract comes through with them written on, that's a bit of a red flag, because it's like, are they iffy in the sense of, are they like, oh, well, we occasionally do it, or I don't know, I don't like, and this is just a personal opinion, and obviously I get seniority and levels to climb, but I don't like when there's completely different benefits packages for different
I don't like
roles.
That.
I don't know why I don't like it, because I get it if you've been there for years. I get if you want to become a partner in a company or you get shares or something like that, that's an additional type of thing. But when, sick days or annual leave days are different, or I don't, actually when you work there for a long period of time, I guess annual leave doesn't come into it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just about getting a feel for the culture. Like, are the benefits 2 volunteering days at a charity each year? Are the benefits flexi working hours? So if you want to start at 8 instead of 9, you can. I'm talking about things that make a difference to your life and give you a bit of your life back, so your life is not just work, not bonus and shout. Because, the thing is, some smaller companies just can't match global companies with the benefits they offer. But what they can match and actually do better at is providing a culture and like a family environment. But yeah,
I thought of a good one. I sort of zoned out. You probably just saw me staring at your water. Oh my god, did I say I forgot it?
Have you forgotten it?
Hold up.
We might come back in a minute.
During an interview process, another red flag, oh my god, is if they just talk in their initial interview about the company and them, what they want.
Yeah.
Well, you should be seeing on the first one, actually, you need to know a bit more about that person. It should be a 50-50.
Yeah.
Like, talk a little bit about you, of course, and the company. Talk about that person. They don't just want to sit there like, yes, yes, sir. Yes, like, you don't...
Because then they don't get that excited vibe. They don't get to showcase their experience and feel happy with it, or ask questions and be like, wow, that's my vibe. Like,
and they just feel like they're nodding.
Shoved with info.
Yeah, and then they come away, and we've had that.
Yeah,
We've had candidates say, well, I didn't actually get a word in, and I couldn't talk about me, and I couldn't ask the questions, and it's like, whoa. Like, so I know some companies might get a little bit excited and talk, but still make sure you have that time to ask questions, because it's hard for candidates. If that was me, I wouldn't want to butt in and say, excuse me, please, maybe, you wouldn't say that, you can't, you wouldn't be in that position. So I definitely think it's more of an amber flag.
Yeah.
I'd say. I don't know why this has turned into an amber and red flag situation, but
I agree.
Go with it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Should we do other way around?
Yeah. I've got a great one.
So, red flags for candidates from a client perspective.
Yeah. So if HR are listening, would you agree that these are your red flags for a candidate, basically? Number 1, if you're doing a Teams interview and their camera is off.
Or they've not brushed their hair or dressed properly. I've had it. I've had that feedback before. Canada didn't brush their hair, just looked really messy.
No, it's true though. I actually read a LinkedIn post. It was probably like 2 weeks ago. I can't remember who posted it.
Yeah.
But it was basically saying that there's been a level of increase in the amount of people that are going through and applying for jobs. Someone's attending the Teams interview for them, and then turning up to they get the position, turn up, and it's a completely different person, doesn't have the skill set, doesn't have all of this. So whether they've done it with their camera off or whether the companies have just not noticed on the induction day that someone's different, there's been an increase of catfishing. Yeah, so you've got, get those cameras switched on.
But also I feel like it's a sign of respect if you're interviewing,
for sure.
just to have your camera on. You can read body language from the hiring manager's perspective.
Yeah, you can tell personality as well if you're smiling or if you're sat there someone doing this.
Yeah.
It's
and I guess that's another red flag, isn't it? Like culturally, are they engaging? Are they positive? Do they match? Say you've got high energy people in your company. Is this person going to be high energy, or are they going to be an energy drainer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's got to be a fit for both parties involved for sure.
Yeah.
What would be another red flag from a client perspective?
Candidate coming on a first interview and two of the first questions being, or very early on, or a focus around. So either questions being asked early on, or a focus around money.
Yep.
And is it remote, fully remote, not travelling at all?
Because there is a lot of candidates out there nowadays that feel entitled to a lot higher salary. We had someone who was asking for a quarter of their base pay to be added on.
Yeah, I had someone yesterday who wouldn't even consider a role unless she had a 25% increase on her salary, and it wasn't a small salary to begin with. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, so you get people, and this is why, as a recruiter, just popping this in there now, we're here to help guide with market what the salaries are looking like, because we can confidently say last year there was an increase in salaries. Everyone was getting a higher salary.
You candidates owned the market.
Yeah, you really did. However, you're not in control now. It's a definite 50-50 split. We're in a weird sort of turning point where we're unsure if it's clients or
grabbing it back.
Yeah, they're trying. But this year it's plateaued. So they are still higher than what they were previous years, but it's plateaued. So you can't then ask for more of an increase. We always say no more than a 10k increase, ideally. Of course, for other reasons or
certain circumstances.
Then of course. But in an ideal world, no more than 10k.
I always think of it, if the person you were interviewing with turned around and asked you what you were on.
Red flag, if they don't.
If they don't, but if they did and you were embarrassed to say what you're currently on compared to what you're asking for, then you know you're asking for too much. Because if you're embarrassed to say it...
Yeah. But that is a red flag for clients if their candidate is not happy to disclose what they're currently on and they're reserved about it. Another red flag could be not giving references.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good one.
Yeah. Not giving, or giving friends or family as a reference instead of actual work.
Don't do that.
People, always,
or at least make sure your friends, people don't know that's your friend. If you're giving it, if it's a colleague but your best friend, just make sure.
There's a professional line there.
Yeah.
But if they don't have references available, then I'd say, slight red flag. Because
red flag could also be not tailoring CV, something basic like that.
Yeah, because are you just pumping it out to every single client?
We see it a lot. We see it on a daily basis, don't we?
We do see it on a daily basis.
Me and Luce gets the same person will apply on a Monday morning to 4 or 5 of each of our roles that are completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Opposite ends of the scale. So.
And we both look at each other and we're like, you have got this person too? Oh, we're like,
Oh yeah, we do have crossovers, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Definitely red flag would be probably something really, really basic, but I think if you look at someone's CV and they've got no hobbies or interests on there, they've got no extracurricular activities, they've got no certifications, they've got completed no training courses, someone who basically doesn't really show that they're really passionate about the space they work in, or I don't know, it doesn't have to be complex, it just needs to be trying to showcase a little bit of enthusiasm for the role, because if we're looking from a perspective of a hiring manager who's seeing 100 CVs for one role, how are you going to stand out from everybody else?
Yeah.
So it's amber flag. That's an amber flag.
Yeah, I was going to say a bit more of an amber one,
flag.
because it is subjective, but I would definitely try and get a little. It's hard to get your personality across on paper. We've said that before.
Definitely.
But those little areas definitely help showcase.
Also, not to plug us, but have a look. Mine is a continuous working process. I have no time to update it, but look at mine and Lucy's LinkedIn on our bios. I think yours is probably like mine. I think we've done well in showcasing a little bit of our personality, and even if it's not personality, how much extra effort we put into our role and into our professional working lives, like with this podcast and stuff. And I think that comes across well on LinkedIn. So
definitely.
To be using it as an example.
I know, words are really difficult today.
When I get excited, I'm like, I can't stop.
What are you excited about?
I don't know.
She's excited to be
About a podcast, of course.
Obviously.
Lucy.
Now, another red flag would be if they cancel the interview on the day of, like half hour before the interview, or no time really given, or they just don't give a reason and don't turn up. Red flag. There is certain circumstances, I get that, of course.
The other way round. It can work the other way round.
Yeah, vice versa. Just a big red flag, because, you should always have just the audacity to pop a mail. It takes 2 seconds to write now. Hi, I'm very, very sorry. I've woken up with a really sore stomachache, or I've got a really bad sickness bug.
Or I'm predicting that this issue that's arisen is gonna become worse over the next 4 hours, and I'm not gonna make the call. Do you know what I treat it like? You know when you book onto a gym class and you can cancel the class 4 hours before without being charged a fee? Well, that's what it's like at my gym. I think if you don't turn up to an interview or can't make an interview, you should give at least 4 hours notice. That's my sort of, because things can happen, and 4 hours is pretty,
Absolutely. Well, just let your recruiter, if you're too scared to email them direct, let your recruiter know ASAP. Rocky.
You had a really good candidate. Luce was away, and her candidate, she put like an out of office on to contact me.
Oh yeah.
And her candidate just sent me a really lovely email and said, I'm really sorry something's come up, can't attend the interview. And I was like, thank you so much for letting me know with so much notice. I'll sort this out immediately. Like, really good.
I get really nice candidates, so thanks to my candidates.
You know who you are.
But yeah, I don't know if I can think of any more red flags.
To be fair, I think we did a good job, if I do say so. No notes, guys. We still don't do prep. We still don't do notes.
Yeah, we're becoming a little bit of a pro of the podcast.
Yeah, we are.
I do say so myself. But yeah, I feel like, of course, there are different outlooks, different views on every single subject that we do talk about. It will be interesting to see if any of you, as a hiring manager or a candidate in current processes, have either encountered any of these red flags. Definitely let us know. Or if you can think of any others that we haven't talked about today. Because I'm sure there is a lot more, whether they're amber or red.
Do you know, I think we should do this again in a couple of months' time, like 6 months' time, with a couple of people from the office and see what their red flags have been. But
because we all encounter different things.
I genuinely think this will be helpful for a lot of candidates and clients out there to really help them maybe not do any of these, or to be aware.
Or avoid processes that do involve these, or stay away from jobs that may not be the right.
Yeah.
In the right.
There's plenty of fish in the sea. You shouldn't have to put up with rubbish things happening, like red flags, amber flags.
Absolutely, you shouldn't.
I'd say 2 amber flags. Yeah, and 2 amber flags equal a red, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like girl math, but recruitment math.
Quick math.
Recruitment math.
Quick recruitment.
2 oranges make a red flag.
Okay, we're waffling, but
yeah, basically. But next week I am away again. Sorry, I'm leaving you. I'm actually going to be in Dubai, so I won't be tuning in, unfortunately, because I'm going to be by a pool, hopefully sipping on a lovely cocktail.
Well, Matt Anton from the US team will be joining me on a virtual podcast.
You should be very privileged about this viewing of Matt coming on to it, because he is a little bit camera shy, so go nice on him.
Yes.
But he's stepping out of his comfort zone, And I think he's going to bring really valuable insights into it.
Especially into US market, how they work over there, what the recruitment's like over in that market.
Because we hear them on a daily basis, and it is different to how we work, and they have us in stitches because they are a funny bunch, and Matt is such a character, so I feel like next week will be really good.
Yeah.
So go easy on him.
And then the following week, we've got a really exciting guest on from Recruiter Insider.
Yeah.
So that'll be really cool. More info will be coming out on that.
That's going to be really good, I feel.
Amazing, yeah.
Especially. And that one will be going live as well.
Yes.
Just getting the nod from the marketing lady. So that will be going live. So we will set up an event for those that are interested in attending it and being able to ask questions live, once again, like we used to do. Then definitely click attending, and we will get that all set up for the next coming weeks.
Cool.
But for now, that's it from us.
Bye.
And have a lovely day. Bye.